This project is based off the book The Love Monster by Rachel Bright, and lesson is inspired by Mrs. Stacy from the Elements of the Art Room.
All right, let's get started. You need your red piece of paper, portrait style, and I want you to fold it in half, matching the corners, and then giving that crease a nice firm press. Make sure that the crease is on the left side, not the right. Now let's go ahead and take our pencil and we're going to create the monster shape. Let's try that one more time slower. We're going to make a curved line, a triangle, and then carry that line all the way down to the bottom of the paper. Now it's time to cut it out. So pick up the paper and let's take our scissors and cut on the line you created, making sure that both pieces of paper are being cut at the same time. Because when we open this up, you're going to have a perfectly symmetrical love monster. The left is the same as the right. That's symmetry, folks. As we glue, take your glue bottle and make sure that you're twisting the orange part open, picking off any dried glue, and then shaking the glue all the way down to the tip. As we glue, go ahead and put a thin line all the way around the shape of your love monster. A little bit will go a long way. After you go around the perimeter, give a little swiggle down the middle just for extra measure. Now it's time to glue it down. I want you to go all the way down to the bottom of your paper and make sure that your love monster is lined up right at the bottom. Perfect. Press down and make sure that all of the corners are glued down nice and even. Looks like your monster is ready for some details. Miss Weaver has already given you the monster's eyes and teeth paper. Go ahead and cut out your eyes very carefully on the black line. Don't throw that paper away. We're actually going to have a use for it later, so safely put it to the side. Now it's time to add just a little bit of glue, swirl it around for those eyes, and make sure that they're pressed down nice and neat. Ooh, it looks like I did not glue my ears down all the way. I'm glad I caught that now. If you have a situation like that, go ahead and double check that those ears are glued down nice and firm. Just a little dab will do ya. Now it's time for that scrap paper I was talking about. We're going to use these pieces of paper to cut out triangles for your big love monster's teeth. So kind of imagine with your finger where your love monster's mouth is going to be, and as you're cutting out the triangles, you can decide where you want them to go. I'm going to make sure that all of his teeth are facing up. As an artist, you can make the choice that maybe all of his teeth are facing down, or maybe some are up, some are down. I don't know. The choice is yours as the artist. Mrs. Weaver has given you several squares of painted paper. They're beautiful. I want you to choose one that you can use to be the heart for your love monster. What you're going to do is fold it in half and make sure that the folded side is on the left. Then we're going to draw the shape of half of a heart. In order to help me, I'm going to draw 2 dots as my guiding points. I'm going to start on the top dot, curve up, and then bring a diagonal line back down. Curve up and a diagonal line back down. Then you can use your scissors to cut. Make sure that you're cutting both pieces of paper at the same time. Cut carefully on the line, and then as you open it up, voila, you should have a symmetrical shape. The left side should be the same as the right. Ta-da! I'd like you to do the same steps for all of the squares that you have so you can have multiple hearts to choose from to put on your artwork. Again, I drew 2 dots, top and bottom. The first dot I curved up and brought a diagonal line down, and then I cut both pieces of the paper out at the same time. Now you actually have some leftover paper that is the negative space of the heart that you cut out. Please do not throw those away. Give those to Mrs. Weaver so she can do something special with them. Now that you cut out all your hearts, it's time to put it all together. Choose one special heart to put right in the middle of your love monster to represent his heart. Before I glued any hearts down, I played around with different ones to see which one I thought looked the best. I chose this orange one to put right on his heart. Now I'm going to glue it down. Remember, you just need a thin line of glue around the edge of the heart shape and maybe a little squiggle in the middle just for safe measure. Go ahead and press that down and make sure none of this heart is sticking up. Get to decide the rest of the composition of the artwork. Where will you place and glue the rest of your hearts? Will you place and glue them equally spaced apart? Will you put them randomly? Will you have them kind of streaming from his head? The choice is yours. It's texture time, and we're going to be using a very simple tool. It's just a slice of cardboard, and we're going to dipping the end of it into black paint. We're going to be putting that stamp right at the edge of your love monster. So let's get started. I'm going to carefully dip my cardboard into the paint. I'm not going to scoop it. And then I'm going to carefully but firmly press right on that red line. I can get 1 or 2 stamps in from that one initial dip that I took in the paint. I'm going to go ahead and dip again. I'm going to continue this process of stamping right on the edge of my monster, being careful of where my hands are so I don't smear the paint and get it all over myself. Next, I'm going to carefully stamp right at the edge of my monster's mouth. Now it's time to add the texture all over to make our love monster a little furry. I'm going to start with the ears. I'm not going to stamp over the eyes and teeth at all, but I'm going to carefully space out my stamps so it starts to look like he's a furry little love monster. Remember, I'm not smearing or scraping. I'm still using that very careful stamping technique, and this video is sped up. So know that when Miss Weaver did this in real time, she took her time and went very slow. The final touch is to add the same stamp around the edge of your large paper, creating a border. So again, the same process of dipping and stamping, and I'm going to be thoughtful that I'm going to do my best to make a straight line that is vertical and horizontal all the way around until you get back to where you started. bonus, if you happen to get done early or Miss Weaver says that we have extra time, we can take a paintbrush and our black paint and draw a border or outline around our love monster's heart and the other hearts that you've glued down.